Hi everyone, I'm Carole Leroy from 90 is the new 70, and I invite you to join me on a creative venture we're going to do together. We are going to fearlessly learn how to release our inner creative self. We're going to share it with others. We're going to have a lot of fun. I want you to watch our YouTube videos. I'd like you to watch Facebook and use your iPad. Together we can do what nobody could imagine. Watch out, world. Here we come. Okay, everybody, I'm Carole Leroy. I'm in my hammock in my bedroom. Doesn't everybody have a hammock in their bedroom? What does? Okay, I run a bed and breakfast, you know that. And this is the third floor, the attic loft, where we have our bedroom. Now I gotta stop this thing because it's going to drive me nuts. Just a second here. Okay. I'll keep going in and out of focus. Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you my story. I was born a poor little black girl in a very poor town. No, I was born white in a very poor town with 800 people. And I grew up in that little tiny town. Went to a grade school, walked to school every day, you know, snow, sleet, hail, you know, whatever. I did it. So I wasn't a real good student because I seemed to have been born with a curiosity bug that would not quit. I was always asking the teachers in school, what about this, what about that? Carole, 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 just be quiet. I was in trouble all the time. Well, we had teachers that would put us in the cloakroom, and I spent probably 60% of my time in the cloakroom in school. And I never learned how to spell, was never good at spelling. I probably was in the cloakroom during the spelling classes. But I did always read ahead on science. I read ahead on stuff about the planets and anything that I was curious about. I also didn't go off for recess like the other kids. I didn't like to run, I didn't like to catch a ball, I didn't like to do any of that stuff. So I stayed in and crocheted and knit, and I taught myself how to do all that stuff. I was an indoorsy kind of person, and I read voraciously. I still read voraciously. Couldn't stop. Well, when I was a young girl, girls didn't go to college. There were professions. There were only 4 or 5. Waitress, mother, school teacher, nurse. What was the other one?
Hairdresser.
What?
Hairdresser.
Hairdresser. How could I forget that one? I went to hairdresser school because it was only $350, and that's all the money we could scrape together. Hated being a hairdresser from day one. Did not like it, did not do well at it. But didn't matter because I married my high school sweetheart at 19. He was 21. And by the time I was 29, I had 3 daughters and I was a full-time housewife. Well, I lived out in the country. I didn't have a car. When I was little, I didn't have running water, heat, or indoor plumbing. So I thought I'd died and gone to heaven because I had all of these things in my little house that I bought. Our first house cost us $10,000. Can you believe that? And I thought I wasn't going to have it paid off till I was 35, and I thought I was going to die because I was such an old age. Well, we got it paid off, we moved, our kids went to school, yada, yada, yada. And when my baby was going to kindergarten, I decided to go back to school because I wanted to use that brain. Well, I went back to school. I started when I was 33, and I graduated from college when I was 48 years old. I became an LPN, I became an RN, I worked in emergency, and then I got a specialty which was called occupational health and safety. And I love that because I love preventing injuries rather than taking care of them after they happened. Well, along with my problems in school, it was really funny because when I got in nursing school, I just whizzed. I had a brain. And when I went to college, I clept out of tons of stuff. English, art history, all the stuff I had been reading about all my life. So I found out, maybe I'm not brain dead. So we moved up here to Appleton, and this is my second marriage. My first husband was gone. I think he should have been aware when We were first married, and he came home from work one day, and my hair was bright pink. He was a little angry, to say the least. Now, I'm telling you, this was the days when no one had pink hair. I mean, no one had pink hair. Well, I'm behind myself here because I'm catching up. My husband and I moved up here when I got a corporate job. And I was a health and safety consultant for a 5-state area and then for other corporations. And I really loved that. I taught ergonomics. I became an ergonomic specialist. And I hated the corporate life. All I did was doodle, doodle, doodle. I have reams of books where I sat in those business meetings as they talked, and I was drawing, drawing, drawing. Well, I had done crocheting and knitting and quilting when I was a little girl, but I didn't have time to do that. I was raising 3 kids. I was going to college. I was working full-time. And so when I was about, I think, 55, I quit my corporate job. By then, my husband and I had bought an apartment building, and we converted that apartment building into a bed and breakfast. Well, I was in hog heaven because I could use my art skills, my decorating skills, all the things I had done. I quilted all the quilts for every room. We made this attic into a loft. I mean, it was a decorator, artist's hog heaven. So, now I'm around 65 years old, and I had 3 pivotal things happen in my life. And those pivotal things have to do with why I'm doing 90 is the new 70. The first one, I was elderly, maybe 57, and I went in the grocery store, and some young boy was checking me out, and he was taking my tomatoes, big, luscious, fresh tomatoes, and he was throwing them down the grate to the packing end. And I said, "Hey kid, stop using my tomatoes as bowling balls." And he said, "Lighten up, lady." And I said, "Hoo-hoo-hoo, lighten up." I said, "I'm pretty light when I party, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not happy with you using my tomatoes for bowling balls. Cut it out." So I had this mean streak, and it was coming out. You'll see more about that later. And my mean streak is kind of like, I call it a confrontational streak, because I'm really not angry. I just tell it like it is. Like Maxine, my hero. Okay, moving right along. Second incident happened. I went to the dentist office where I had gone for years, probably 4 or 5 years since we had moved up here to Appleton. And a new little cutie came in that was the dental assistant. And this is what she said to me. "Mrs. Leroy, this is a bib that I'm going to put around your neck. And this is so you don't drool on your desk." On your dress, I mean, not on your desk. I looked at her and I said, "I'm not Mrs. Leroy. I don't drool. I'm not hard of hearing. And I'm a professional woman. Bugger off." That girl left that room so fast, and I never got the attention at a dentist's office in my life like I got that day. But a little aside, I did drool a little bit on my bib, but I knew it was a bib. The third and pivotal thing happened to me in church one day. We went to church, and you know, they hand out questionnaires occasionally. And I don't even remember what the questionnaire was. But something about this questionnaire hit me between the eyes. And it said, what is your sex, male or female? I put down female. I think it should be yes or no, but that's another story. Then it said your age group, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, and then other. Yeah, other. I thought, I'm an other. Oh my God, I'm an other. And there are others all around me. And we're all alike. And we never think. And we never change. And I was scared to death. And I thought, I'm not going to become an other. I met a good friend who was 97 when she died. And I knew her for 20 years. And I'll tell you, that woman's mind was not an other. I get excited every day about a project. I go to bed thinking about it. I get up thinking about it. I'm not naturally born talented, but I can read and I can follow directions, and I'm not afraid. I try everything. If it doesn't turn out, out it goes. If it does turn out, I say, oh, I'm a creative genius. I can't help myself. But that's what we all have to do. What do we care? What do we care what people think? Look at the cumulative knowledge us others have in our brain that we can suck from. Look at all the things we let go when we were forming our jobs, when we were raising our children. We let all that stuff go. It's still in there. Let's bring it out. Let's watch videos. Let's form groups. Let's get an iPad. Let's communicate with each other. And let's enjoy every minute until we're 90. I've got some books for you, and I've got an assignment. Here is one of my books, and I'm going to put this on my Facebook page. This is called Fearless Creating. Circle of Stones, about women. And of course, my mentor, Maxine, Yelling It Like It Is. I love her. When I'm old, I shall wear purple, or when I'm young, I shall make my hair pink. And then these two books were books that a group of women and I did together, and we spent a year on each of them. And they're both by Julia Cameron, and one is called The Vein of Gold, and the other is The Artist's Way. And we're going to be referring to some of these as we go along. Now, I told you I had an assignment for you. Think back of when you were, let's say, 60, and you thought, God, when I was 50, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. Okay? Think back of when you were 70. Boy, I wish I would have done this when I was 60. I wish I would have done that when I was 60. Okay, get out a pencil and paper, and I want you to Facebook this to me. I want you to write down, pretend you're 90, and say, boy, when I was 70, if I'd have known then all the time I had and all the things that I could do yet, I would do them. We all have physical limitations as we get older. I'm going to talk about that on a health and safety film, but there's something each one of you can do, and I want you to write it down and send it to me. Now enjoy the rest of my videos. I don't have them all made yet, but I just wanted to get started so you guys would know what this was all about. You go, girls. Bye. Oh, by the way, I'll be taking a nap. So wake me, Gordy. When you've got lunch made, okay? Wake me. Hi everybody, you've just completed another video from 90 is the new 70. Now is the time you've got to put yourself to work, get some action, do something. But first of all, push that subscribe button, and together we'll show the world that we are 70 forever. Watch out, world, here we come.